I'm ready to walk in that look. There's this line of fire right here with these artists, man. It's crazy out here because sometimes you just, respectfully, I'm going to say all these things that I'm saying today. I just want to make sure I'm saying it respectfully. I'm not, offending any groups or anything. But, man, we're going to kick it off right. So the art world is a little, it is a little bit of communities out here in this art world. So you just got to be careful where you want to stand at, and I see a lot of people, they use their leverage of, the certain groups that they stand for. And then it's like, now you got all the support in the world, but it's like, if I'm not part of this group or I don't have to make friends with them or I don't want to, then, why is, I'm not going to be supported then. But it's, so, like I said, not to try to offend it, it's a weird land now where these, groups and things kind of run everything. There's more politics than you could even imagine, especially once you close that door, once that door is closed.
Yeah, well, I'm not afraid to be on my own about things at times. I speak my mind, and some people don't like it. I will say there's a story I know about in Buffalo. Tell me if you've ever heard this, about a painter who had pissed off other people in the painting community or the art community, not necessarily specific a painter, but just, I think this person painted, but not like regular paintings. And he pissed off the art community. And that person was picked up by somebody that was his buddy and taken to a room where like a round table of painters were like cornering, or I'll say artists. I don't want to say that everybody in this room were painters, but like a cabal of artists were like cornering this dude. Have you ever heard something like that?
Yeah, man. Like it's it's a lot, I'm gonna say this. It's a lot of stuff going on, even in this art world. Like, it's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, and a lot of people don't understand. Like, just because you like something or you like someone's art or whatever, that don't make them a good person. A lot of times, these people get, they get a little ahead of themselves and they let their drugs and their addictions control their actions. And I've worked with some people, and I'm not going to say any names out here, but it's one of the biggest graffiti artists or one of the biggest artists in the city. And and when we opened up our art gallery, Gallery at Seneca, shout out, our first year doing it, we got a lot of females that would reach out to us and say that this person, violated them. And so we couldn't really deal business with this person. And I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to put nobody's name out there and try to slay them because they probably still do have families and I'm not the law. So it's just sad. It's like, you don't want to be the person. Like, I don't have no problem screaming it, but I don't have, I wouldn't do that to anyone until I had, I wasn't in that room. But, it sucks to say that a lot of that stuff is happening. And not just with painters or art, in that form of art, like in the music industry and stuff out here in Buffalo, I hear it a lot. And it's kind of sad.
Well, I have a studio. We're here at 1841 Seneca Street. Come buy some clothes. Quick shameless plug. But this is our 4th studio, and our first one was on Exchange Street. And you're saying it's not just that type of artist. I have photographers that run our studio, and I'll have women messaging me. I'm not going to say the name on the show, but it's the same photographer. He's a boudoir, type photographer, talking about, oh, he made me uncomfortable. He did this, he did that. And, I can't control in the sense of like them going to the police or however it should be handled, but I can at least listen. And be like, yo, I ain't having you in my studio.
I can't support it because I do know.
Right. Have you ever thought about starting your own podcast? Don't know how to edit, don't know how to film, don't even know where to begin? Well, I'm fixing all of that. People around here call me the Wiz. I spend every day creating professional content, curating podcasts, and working with small businesses to grow their footprint, as well as staying modern with today's trends. And if it's time for you to move from a hobby to a small business, I want to make sure I'm giving you all the right tips so you can be successful. The goal of my videos is giving you real advice that you can use today. Follow this page and make sure you subscribe. Not only am I going to have short form content for you to follow along, but I'll have more in-depth videos available on the channel, as well as live classes that you can click in with. You're going to be able to follow along, ask questions, and the classes will be free.
It's the Wiz.
Yeah, it sucks, dude. Like, I'm going to tell you, like, doing art, like, okay, so last couple years is, I didn't really I didn't know if I was going to be successful, or if the community was going to get behind me, if Buffalo was going to stand with me, But what I do see is that it's a lot of talented artists in Buffalo. It's a lot of talent, whether it's photography, music, models, just the, spoken word poetry side of it, all different forms of painting, art, like all these. And it's just what I see is that people just don't chase their dream. Like, they don't chase it no more. It's like, you rather sell your soul or be on Instagram, Facebook, just trolling all day, like to get clicks and stuff. Like, yeah, it's not the same anymore. Like the dream, the chasing it, the American dream, going to get it, and it's different now.
Yeah, I hate to say it. One of the worst things I feel like that happened to Facebook is everybody became monetized. My entire Facebook feed every morning is somebody saying some crazy post. Yeah. And then when you go to the comments, what is the first thing? Subscribe to my page. They're just saying, there was one the other day, some girl said some crazy thing, like something that's like extremely outlandish, like all white people should be put in a cage for blah, blah, blah. Something just crazy. Yeah, and when you clicked her page, she was like, I'm married to a white guy. I just needed to get paid. Like, literally. And I'm like, this is what's happening to the world we're living in.
I hate it. And it's like, it was like being a class clown. Like, being a class clown was cool, but then sometimes you got to sit down and learn. You're still there for a reason. Like, you could make a joke or two, hey, get everybody off topic and shit, but you got to get back to school. Like, we ain't getting back to it no more. Everybody just want to be a class clown all day long. The girls want to shake and show half their body. Like, we're going to say 90% of their body, not even half. You want to show all of this just to make a couple dollars? Like, and then the men, you want to be goofy and have these pranks, and you want to put on wigs, and you got the kids wanting to just be goofy and like prank this and prank that and prank like for what though? Like, just to sell your soul? Like, be yourself. If you naturally funny, you're naturally funny. You don't need to be outlandish and put a plastic bag over your head and run in circles. If you're funny, like, you're just funny. Like, now they just turned it into everybody's funny, wanting to make money. Like, it's not that. That's not talent. Jumping off of something, hurting yourself to get likes is not talent. Getting your body done and posting butt naked pictures so people can hurt. Like it's not talent. It's like, so it's like these 5th place award ribbons is where these people is at, and they used to that. And so now they found a way to monetize 5th place, 4th place ribbons. Like you could just go ahead and just you're not good at anything, but you're just doing some goofy, untalented stuff, and it's just like, that's not going to get you nowhere in life but just people laughing at you. Like, I want people to laugh with me and realize what I'm talking about. Oh shit, yeah, he really know what he talking about. Not ha ha he, my whole life story.
Right. I hate it because I feel like we've become the content rather than making the content.
Right.
So we're acting in a movie for nobody, you know, or it's a constant show, and you're not, like you said, you're not yourself. So it's
Yeah, I hate it.
And the naked thing is driving me because it's not. I'm a man. I fucking love the way a woman looks, you know.
Right, you
but
have no choice.
The removal of imagination, the removal of the build up to seeing this person naked has changed our society.
Right, or you just say, hey, I give you 200 and we can just record it.
Right. Yeah. Right. We get a bag together.
Right.
Like,
I could take you out to Longhorns. We can have a great time and get conversation. We could spend that 80 to 100, or let's think about this. Or 300, we'll get some footage and maybe one of my buddies recorded it. And now we can be rich. Like, so now you don't even really like me. We didn't even have to do it. Like, and it's all about the money now. It's like sitting there, oh, they're subscribing. Oh, they're liking it.
And you got a whole generation of women who are on OnlyFans.
Yeah.
But then posting on their Facebook about how they can't find love.
Yeah. Like, you're not going to find love in the OnlyFans community where you're selling your soul. Like, I seen this, what was it? The little boy was telling his kid, it was a video on YouTube, and he was so hurt that his mom she was going to school to be a nurse or something. And she was like trying to explain it to him, like, well, mommy got to get money. And he was like, he lost it on her. He said, but you don't got to sell your soul, mom. Like, he was hurt. Like you going to school, like, kids see that. They rather you not be around for 15, 16 hours chasing, doing what you love than to have all this money in the world and you on OnlyFans and all their friends like, yo, that's Brody mom that we seen the other day. Like, I remember when I was younger, just people being around when you got into a fight and then you had to go to school the next day. That was enough. Like, win, lose, or draw, it's a disruption. Like, you're in school the next day, hey, did you see the fight? Now you got people recording it and like, man, I remember I took a loss. I got my bell rung in high school. I couldn't wait to go home and tell. My eye was hurting all day. I couldn't wait. I didn't want the boy to get suspended. But, but everybody's seen it. They seen it. So I'm like, I want to go home. When I get home, I'm just thinking, like, imagine if the world would have seen that and, like, I wouldn't have been able to come back from that. You know what I mean? It's bad enough that people that seen it. Yeah. But then now you put it to the whole world for no reason. Everybody got something to say, like, oh, you should have fought back. I wasn't a fighter at that time. I wasn't, Once I joined the Army and I joined split option. So I came back to high school. Yeah. So everybody who wanted to smoke then, I smacked all fire out you then. I didn't care.
Hold on, let's stop for a second. For those that don't know, can you explain split option?
Oh, yeah. Okay, so split option in the Army is when most of the time people graduate or as long as they're over 18 years old, they join the Army and they go, Army, you do your basic training and then you do your AIT. So with split option, what they do is they set it up so that if you're a kid that's troubled or I'll say you just want to get started as being an adult sooner. We'll say it in a positive way. They would do split option. So in your 11th grade summer, you will go to basic training and then you come back, you do your senior year of high school, and as soon as you graduate, they ship you off to AIT, and then you're doing your initial training. So it's like, that's what I did, but I was a big boy,
That's a crazy... I don't think people realize how crazy of a concept that really is.
Yeah.
Because even though you're not out in the world, you are out in the world. Basic training, you were people in states you've never met before, and cultures and religions. You're meeting
thousands of people from everywhere around the world.
Where'd you go?
Fort Jackson.
Okay. And what was your MLS?
31 uniform, like
What's that?
networking,
Okay.
like computers and stuff. So
Like a tech guy.
yeah, so brainy. I had a little brain. I had security clearance at 17 years old.
He must have scored high on that ASVAB on the test.
That's a fact. Shout outs to my grandfather and my uncle Andy, because my uncle Andy was my actual recruiter. So he got me the best bonus that you could, put me in my state where I was going to be stationed at. Like everything, he knew how he wanted to walk his nephew down. And then my grandfather was the one who got me in early because I was in, I was getting in trouble. I was a Baltimore bad kid. I was in trouble.
Oh, shout out Baltimore.
Shout out.
I can see you now. You're in boot camp. They start talking shit about your recruiter. You're like, Uncle Andy was a good guy. Hold on a second. He wouldn't do that to me.
He said, "Don't blame me, kid. Blame your recruiter."
Like Uncle Andy loved me. He used to give me gifts every year. Like, what are you talking about?
That's what they say. Your uncle sent you to relaxing Jackson, huh? You thought it was gonna be a field trip. I remember they gutted my pillow. First of all, my mom. So I think they all set me up. She gonna set me up with a pillow. So I'm going to leave to go fly out for basic.
So what year did you go? Do you remember?
02.
Okay.
Yeah, my buddy's still in. Shout out Garrison. And we did our 20. Like he kept going. He's still in there right now.
But you went into boot camp. So at the time you went in though, we're talking BDUs. We're talking
the original BDUs,
different time, right?
Not the digital ones.
Yeah, correct. You were pre.
Heavy.
So you had Class A's still, right? Like the ones with the hot dog hat.
Yep, that's a fact.
That's crazy. That was, in my opinion, I feel lucky that I was in 07, 06 to 08.
So you missed out.
I missed out in the sense that my uniforms, although the digital was trash, I thought the other ones looked way better. Even the new ones look better.
And they're lighter. The new shit is all lighter. That original shit was heavy and it absorbed water and stuff.
It had a weird smell for some reason. I don't know, it was like canvas almost.
Like a wet campfire. like a dirty tent.
But you had to starch some bitches. But I meant more, I felt lucky because our dress uniforms were like Class B's or something. They were like the other style.
Yeah.
So they were easy. Like it
was cool.
You hardly ever had a reason to wear them.
Ours was not. You got to get fully toed. The patent leather joints all the way up. The socks. Yeah, man.
So you went to Jackson years ago. Okay, so it's understandable.
Yeah. I was a big boy too. I joined at 287. When I came back from basic, I was 180 pounds.
It's crazy. That is a common story. I'm back up to weight. Don't let don't let everybody, my statements fool you. But I went in at like 240, 250.
Came out cold. I came out cold. And man, what? Yeah. And I wanted to smoke then. Now I wasn't backing down from no fights. I wanted all the fades, win, lose, or draw. Like, you going to have to literally punch me in my mouth to make me shut up. Like, that's the only way you're going to stop me. Like,
see, that's what I don't understand how they can have a split option, because it's like in my boot camp, you had dudes that were, because on Sundays, it was religious days usually. Yeah. There'd be a lot of time where you could go to church. Relax. They'd have you clean the barracks or something. You could chill. But we had guys that would put, like, I don't want to say they still had civvies, because I think they took them all from us in boot, but they had regular, like, non-boot stuff that they would wear
and then go into
like they would go get like cans of dip and tobacco and stuff for like these old boys, bring them back in these backpacks.
You ain't supposed to even be. You're not even supposed to put no rank on. So that's what it was. They would have like rank. Somebody would where did you get rank from?
They would buy it from the PX. Because they would put the cans of dip in the ceiling. I remember one time we had a health and welfare check. Motherfucker hit a broom.
All that shit.
All the cans fell on
donuts and motherfuckers. Twizzler packs.
But they were doing dirty shit. One time I seen a drill sergeant take a Newport out of his box and squish it flat with his fingers, and then go tell the other drill sergeant that he found it in the vent of the bathroom and that somebody was having them cigarettes mailed in.
So that they could get them, so somebody could tell.
We got smoked for that one. I'm like, bro, I watched you set. That's a setup.
That's a fact. And they want to see who going to tell. That's one of the main things. They want to see who going to break. And somebody gonna be like, Daniels put I remember I got caught with the damn electric razor. Cause I was 17 years old. I shaved with that disposable razor that first time. That next day, my cheek looked like Star Crunch. My face was.
Oh, he had a shaving condition,
Oh
people.
my God.
He needed a profile, shaving profile.
So then I'm like, I got to go back to high school. So my mind is thinking like high school. It's not thinking like war. It's thinking like, I want a girlfriend. I want a life. Like, I don't want my face looking like Candyman. Like,
Candyman is crazy.
So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go to PX. Next time we go to PX, I'm stealing me an electric razor. Stole me an electric razor. So now I'm telling, see, this is the part. I told people. Yep. I'm like, yo, you want to use an electric razor so your face don't. Man, they couldn't wait to tell on me, bro. I don't even think he asked twice. He's like, so is there anything I need to know? They was like, oh yeah, Daniel's got a, like, he didn't even make people sweat. They didn't do push-ups, nothing. Like, it was just telling. I said, yeah, I don't know. This Army shit might not be for me. I had to start reevaluating things coming back already.
I don't know. I'll be honest with you. The unit, I was in Fort Sill, Oklahoma, and I was in.
All dudes.
It was all, it was
all
a combat.
Dudes,
I mean, there were females in the medical centers and stuff, but
not in training.
Everything was all dudes. Yeah. And I'll never forget, we were on the range one day, and you know, the range in Oklahoma, I'm sure the range is like this everywhere. Like, it's just out on a part of the base where there ain't shit.
Dry.
Yeah. So we're there's like a half a shed that you can get shade, and there's like a Gatorade thing.
Open that shit, only rattlesnakes.
Bro, all of a sudden all these MPs pull up. And I'm like, you know, we don't think none of it. You're in boot camp. Like, it ain't like, you're just not thinking like the police are here for somebody. They're just thinking, you're just like, they're here to talk to somebody. I don't know, maybe they're doing a course. And bro, one of the dudes on our unit just starts running through the desert. Like, where the fuck's Abdul going? Yo, this kid had joined the Army under a dead man's security, social security number. Was like selling drugs in Chicago and was like had a case. And use some dude's identity to join the military to hide out. It was crazy. I'm like, and then the worst part is they must arrest him. I'm like, let him run. Where's he going? You know, he's gonna get tired. They go arrest him, and then we're all in trouble. Like, you could sniff out there was a bad guy in the unit.
Sniff out he was a what's it, covert?
And they made him a squad leader. Right? No, for real. They made him a squad leader, and then the drill sergeants are yelling at us like, how dare you follow this man? Like
y'all pointed at him.
Diabolical. Like, hold on a second.
That's how they get you, too. They spoke you both ways. Like, you didn't know? You didn't smell it? Like, no, he was cool. He was cool.
How were you set to serve for like a certain amount of time, or you just served and then you got out, or how did you?
I signed for 5 years. Was it 6? 5 or 6 years. But I got injured, so I was like, yeah, I'm good. And take my surgery and then give me some benefits.
Listen, I'll be real with you. I did like 2.5 years, started getting in trouble, and then it just got crazy. I'm a wild man. Yo, one time, this is a real story, we're going to move on, but I just want to paint a picture of how wild I was at the end of my career. I thought to myself that one day, I said, if I took my handle and I locked it from the inside, nobody's got a key. How can they just make me go anywhere? Right. Like, I don't even, like, I could just get up. I'm like, yo, I got up at 9:30, went for breakfast, and y'all. They're like, what the fuck are you doing? I'm like, bro, I'm not doing this shit right now. I have better shit to do. Right?
No Army shit.
Bro, I come back to the door, and there's no door handle on my door, right? My sergeant was like, nah, we're not playing that game. We take the door handle off your door, right? I was like, yo, take the door. I don't even care. What are they going to do? Bring me down there? Because it was like at that point, like I said, I already got in trouble.
Yeah, he was done.
I was already done. I was like, this was not, man, I was like,
I'm not meant for this no more.
there was never a day in the military I felt like I wasn't meant for. I had a good time.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, when the energy change ups happens to somebody, you just like, fuck this.
You're like, I don't want to be here no more. I'm gone. Like getting dropped off at your aunt's house and then your mom leave and shit. And then you're like, where'd my mom go?
Yeah, but you know what's funny is now we're talking years ago, right? We're old men now.
I wish I would have.
So the funny thing is like I'm friends with all the dudes in my unit still, like for the most part, minus like the one, like the sergeant major or
and
somebody.
The dude that was a terrorist.
No, that's boot camp. I'm just saying, when this shit happened, like I'm still friends with those people, and it's like kind of comical because, like, you know, to me, I'm like, I don't know how to look it back, right? Like, I be chilling, everybody's like, yeah, veterans. I'm like, yeah, bad egg in the group. Like, you know.
Me too. You don't want to say too much. Like, I'm a veteran, but I didn't really. I didn't do anything substantial in the army. So I'm like, yeah. So where did you go? Where were you stationed at? Did you do any tours? I'm like, no.
So I'm lucky. My well, not lucky, but a scenario. My unit had been overseas, and I was a fill-in unit. So like they had lost people overseas, and they came home. So it's kind of bad because I'm like filled in with a lot of guys that probably had some trauma and shit, and they're doing crazy shit. Now I'm doing crazy shit. I'm like, this is the army,
And you
bro.
ain't even doing shit, right?
I'm like, yo, this shit is baller.
Oh
Like,
man,
we're gonna have to sit that one down. That one right there.
we can't even let him go because if you go, now he's gonna be even more crazier because
Right.
he thinks that this is what he can do, and he's like,
But you know what? This is kind of where I was leading with it. It kind of made me the man I am. Like, you know, both of us are in a job where it's a creative job.
yeah.
And I'll never forget when I was leaving, the one dude that hated me, he was like, you know, I have an honorable discharge. I don't have nothing on my service,
Right.
but he was like, because I wasn't staying the whole time, you know, he goes, you know, you're not going to be able to work at Walmart, right? Right? You're 17. I think I was 19 or 20 years old. I was like, Walmart. I don't even want to work there now.
Right.
They won't let me work there, and I don't want to work. I was tripping. I was like, my life is over.
Like Walmart, damn, I can't even work at Walmart.
Like, imagine like trying to get that job, and then they're like, what happened in the army?
First of all, like, this is Walmart. Does the credentials meet?
Right. Can you tell us what happened with this Article 15? You're like,
Well, I put my thumb in her button.
yeah, right. The lieutenant's daughter, she had a rack.
Well, I was there for 3 months. With no trim, and like, what do you want me to do? We were having a good time.
Start the story. They sent two 17-year-olds to Korea. It's like, Jesus Christ. But no, what we were talking about that we got into this was just that you were split option. I was just saying I feel like that's really messed up because you're going with a bunch of grown men.
Yep. And then
becoming
coming back to school, like
a grown man. I mean, I don't think I could serve my senior year the same person. You went to school, high school in Baltimore?
yeah.
What side?
It was
Or what area, I guess?
it's really Johnfredrick, like right at the end of Baltimore County. So
So like Glen Burnie?
it's like a good area. I would say suburbs. Good school. Only 4 classes a day. Shout out to the school, Johnfredrick High School.
Shout out to my guy Mandreek and Glen Burnie.
All our guys out there. Yeah. All them.
What? How'd you get here?
Like here,
Like Buffalo?
okay, just my family. One side from here, my mom's side from there. So when my mom and dad got married, they moved back to Buffalo to be with my dad's side because my grandma had 16 kids. That's the Greens, so big family. You know anybody that's a Green or a Daniels, give them a hug.
Shout out. And then, your pops just passed away, so sorry for your loss. Is that the same person we're talking about?
Yeah, my dad, man, rest in peace, man.
Yeah.
Lost a big part of me, man.
It's all right. It's tough.
Yeah, dude. It's definitely, because our relationship was a little strained at the end, and I think a lot of people could be able to understand what I'm saying. Like, as our moms and parents, grandparents, they get older, they start to get all mean and, deliberate. They defiant. They don't want to do, like the doctor told them, I was with you when the doctor told you can't be doing this. And then you want to do it. And then when I tell you that the doctor told you, now you want to yell all at me and stuff. Like it puts us in a tough predicament because as they get older, we there for them and then they don't listen. It's like the doctor told you can't eat that sugar, Dad. We know you can't eat sugar. You eat sugar. You chop your toes off, and then you start with the toes, and they go with the feet. And then your leg is gone. Like, bruh, he's always was good spirits, right? But it's just like you could have avoided all that, just by putting the chocolate down and the Butterfingers and the Snickers. Like, you got to cut it,
But I feel like that's still an addiction like any other, even though it may not have the same pull. The candies and stuff. People with their eating patterns. I mean, in today's world, that's another thing. We don't have to get into it, but in today's world, people would rather give you a Ozempic, or whatever it's called,
than actually fight.
Do the work.
And I think, and what made me mad is that my dad was in the Army too, and so was my mom. And so, we were a military brat family. So I know it's hard. You know what I mean? We know that. That's what the Army teaches. We know it's hard. We know it's hard. But this is life or death. Diabetes is life or death. A lot of them diseases is, if you could change your habits, it'll change your whole life. Like, so why wouldn't you, I don't know. It sucks. And so, but right now I got my own stuff to deal with, and I, rest in peace, my dad. But like, you don't really realize what you're gonna miss. Like, I miss that Veterans Day call at 6 in the morning, like 5:30 in the morning. Like, you getting up to go get your oil change, right? The Sonic free oil changes, like, so it's like just the little things like those. Like, while I'm going through my own stuff, like, he would just call and check up on me and say some shit and just hang up. It wouldn't be a long, drawn out sob story, Oh, how you feeling? It would just be like, how you feeling? I'm like, all right, you got to get to it. All right, talk to you later. And that's it, but just sometimes then as men, that's all we really need is just that little push. Like, I don't need you to wipe my tears. I just need you to say, it's going to be all right. Either way. Even if it ain't going to be all right, we're going to handle it. Like, that's all we could do.
It's good to hear that. I'll be honest. I don't talk about it ever. I definitely don't talk about it on my show. My dad is like a homeless person. He lives in Syracuse, and
Really?
yeah, and he.
And we got so much shit in common.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Every time we get on these shows, we find out more, bro.
Yeah, and so here you, what you're describing is what I go through. Social services call me, talk about we need to get emergency housing for your dad. He showed up. This happened. Blah blah blah, and I will set everything up, or I want to pay for something or whatever, and then. Yeah. He just defies the whole situation. He like sabotages and you're like, and then you're yelling at your own dad, like, motherfucker.
Dude, you gonna make me cry. I swear to God, bro, that's exactly what it would be like every single time. Yeah,
and there's nothing you can do. And then you are going through that roller coaster of emotion because you're like, I'm trying to fucking help you. You can't help yourself, but I can't. You're my dad, so I'm not gonna just let you go.
Or they come up missing.
Right.
And then everyone's calling you like, hey, you seen your dad, or you heard from your dad, or or the hospital's like, well, he missed his appointment. It's just not like him or something. And you're like, then your heart just like stops. And you're like, damn, I yelled at him all week, and now this motherfucker might not even be alive. And then you talk to him, and then you're like, and he's just blatantly disregarding it. So it's like, you just went through the whole...
I'm sorry to laugh, but that's my dad. They'll be calling me. The sheriff's like, yo, we haven't seen your dad. When he's saying he's going to kill himself or something. I swear to God, dude. You get a hold of him, he's like, fuck you, motherfucker. You're like...
I am right here, and I ain't doing shit that they asked me to do. Like, so you just ignored them for no reason, and then you ignore my calls too? Yeah, because I knew you was calling me because they was calling you. Like, oh, fuck all of this. So that's why we had that really strained relationship, bro. So when he passed... It's crazy. It's like, I told myself, you always tell yourself you're going to have time. Like, we're going to fix it and we're going to laugh about this shit because it wasn't really nothing big. But I did have to put my foot down because it was driving me crazy. Like, between that and my kids and him jumping in and out, like, you panicking them too. You're panicking everybody, and then you really just don't give a fuck. If you don't give a fuck, just be cool, but don't be sad one day and then the next day like that. You had housing. You didn't call them to get your VA benefits renewed. Like, what is wrong? Like, like, don't call me now and stressing when you was just partying, having the best time ever, under the fucking bridge. Like, dude, just like you said, dude, I remember when Claire passed away.
Okay.
That hit me because it felt like that's how my dad was. It's like, and everybody was like, oh, and everybody has something to say. Like, and I was just like, motherfucker, so you telling me she was homeless and she couldn't even be peaceful on the side of the road by herself? Somebody jumped the road, ran her over and killed her? So she wasn't bothering nobody? And y'all gonna say, oh, but that's still a fucking person, bro. And that's what made me feel like my dad. Like, no matter what your standard is of living, you can't judge someone else. He was cool partying in the Bronx and, That's was his thing. He didn't care. He'd sell everything he had and start all over again. Nothing held him to nothing. And that's what, to me, which I wouldn't be able to do it, but that's pure freedom. When you're not worried about what people think, you're not worried about where you live, you're not worried about where you're going to get your next meal, because you can just go get the free one. I used to be like, he like, yeah, I'm about to go. Like for Veterans Day, we going 12 places in a day like that. You're not even gonna eat all that food. Yes, I am. Shit, I'm put that shit up. I'm gonna freeze my Little Caesars. Like freeze it? Like what? You going Little Caesars, Longhorns. You going to Buffalo Wild Wings. You going to Applebee's. You going to like when. But that's how he was. Shit, I'm taking advantage. I'm a veteran. Shit, I'm gonna do it. Right.
It's funny because just on what you're saying about the veteran stuff, shout out Rel, who's our age.
Yeah.
He's a veteran. I think he's a Navy veteran. Rel, don't kill me if you're not weren't in the Navy. I'm sorry, bro. I think he was in the Navy. Though. But he told me, he's like, Drew, don't be ashamed of a damn thing. He goes, his wife said he'll walk anywhere. He'll say, excuse me, is there a veterans discount?
That's a fact. I ask everywhere I go, even places where you don't think like Macy's or it'd be Wendy's. I'm like, you ain't got military. Like, sir, we told you that yesterday. Like,
but when they say no, you feel like the biggest piece of shit because they don't ever say like, oh, we don't offer that. They're always like, no.
They're like, no. Like it's not supposed to.
Like I'm like scamming. You know what I'm saying?
I can die for my country, but I can't get a burger.
Right. Listen, we ain't going back. We're not going back to the military conversation, but there's a lot of issues like that. Like you can't drink. Like if you join the military
at 17,
at 17, you should be able to have a drink
but
in the barracks.
But I can catch a bullet.
Right.
And you're going to give my mom a crisp folded flag, and I didn't even get a chance to have a beer.
And you're probably going to lie to her about how I got killed, too.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Right.
That's definitely a fact.
Yeah.
Right now, they asking me, they're like, you know, were you stationed anywhere where the Agent Orange could have got you? I'm like, no. I don't even want to have to fight the Army right now. You know.
It's been a while. It's a wild time. The more information we've gotten as a population, the dumber we've gotten somehow. So.
Yeah, and that's the craziest thing, too. The more we know, the more people try to act like they don't know.
I don't know. Your dad that we were just talking about, he lived in Buffalo or he was in Baltimore?
He passed in the Bronx.
Oh, yeah, you were saying that, yeah.
You know what's so scary is that, you know, maybe this is a topic we could put on here, too. Like, we got to start taking care of ourselves first as men, and then as our families. We got to start talking to our elders and knowing what's going on, and you know what do y'all want us to do? You know, like my dad passed away, and again I'm gonna say rest in peace. But you left me unprepared. You know, I didn't know if you had any benefits or anything, and you didn't. You didn't put me and my sister as beneficiaries, or you didn't put us as next of kin. So it's like, we didn't even find out that he died until 10 fucking days later, bro. Imagine that. He's like, well, he was dead since the 17th. Like, what the fuck? Like, you know what I mean? So just that, and then trying to get his body here, and I'm begging the world, like, yo, I need help. You know, I got my own family, and I'm just an artist. You know, I don't have it made. I live off artwork to artwork. I live off of project to project. And in between those projects, I'm always helping someone or donating my time or my money and giving it away, you know? So I think next year I'm gonna be a little more focused on saving and stuff, but you know, and that's just because this is a lesson learned. That was scary.
In specifically my side of the family, I have stepped away from most of the family. Like I don't fuck with my family members. Yeah. You know,
I got a lot of that.
But I feel like a lot of it is what you're talking about. Like it's not so much anything more than I've got older family members that just be wilding. They just be saying the craziest shit. It's almost like they bully people at the get-togethers.
That's a fact.
Because they think they have an excuse, like it don't matter.
Yeah.
You know,
or they look down upon people, and they create groups.
They create groups.
I hate it.
They segregate into different groups.
And then you just trying to be, I love all you guys. Like,
right.
I don't want to be over here and then they're talking about how these people make them feel. And then I go over here and they don't make me feel that way. But you said they made you feel that way. So I'm like, damn, I don't see that. But I can see that you're distant. So then if I do choose to say something to them, then they're going to say, so it is something. So they do feel right for the way that they feel. And it's like, I don't know. You know, but that's where I get it. It sucks, bro. You just end up just saying, fuck it. I'm just going to deal with mine.
Yeah, and when you talk about you being I'm just an artist or whatever, but that's the thing for me, like the way you're living your life now, even I don't know how long you've been an artist and been doing this as your job,
Yeah.
but it's like that's life. What I'm doing, I don't clock into a job. The
That's a
money that I'm
fact.
coming is coming from what we create.
That's a fact.
This is what being alive is.
And if you don't like it or nobody likes it, I don't get paid. If it's not so it's either, I got it. So I might just do it and it just sits there.
How did that start for you? Like do you remember when you first started painting like professionally?
Yeah. I tried to I think I tried to we're gonna say what, warning? Was it a trigger warning maybe?
Yeah, okay.
I tried to kill myself. I went through a stint of mental illness. Like I was going through it. I had lost so the first step was my cousin got murdered in front of me. And then I had to testify. Then to testify it was brutal. It was a trial and it was 11-1 jury. So the dude got let go. So that really hurt me. So then I'm like, no, I want to fight the trial again. So we went back to trial. And so that was 2.5 years of my life fighting that shit,
Wow.
telling someone or the judge or 12 people that I know the motherfucker that killed my cousin. He right here, like he's right there. Like, so just imagine you already scared to do it because the community, I'm gonna say the black community, the hip hop community, our community, the first thing is snitching and this and that. Like we wasn't doing nothing criminal. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like you killed my cousin, you didn't gain nothing. Yeah, and then I gotta look at my family and look at them and like we didn't come back. Shit, we both died that day. That's the way I looked at it. You know what I'm saying? But my aunt still need justice. She still got to go to bed. So I was terrified. I went to trial and it was a mistrial. Then I end up doing it again. And so when I got out of that, we got the conviction. I ended up getting married and trying to get out of that headspace, and I thought I was. And then my baby died. So I had lost a child, full term. I had a doula and a midwife, and they weren't there. And I'm not going to hold it back no more. They weren't there. And she was 2 weeks overdue. And instead of them waiting on her hand and foot, especially which we pay for, they was out. The doula was here. The other one was at the at the gym. And I'm telling her what's going on with her. She's curled up on the floor. And they're like, well, what do you see? And I said, I see this little thing hanging out of her. And he's like, well, that looks like it may be the umbilical cord. If it's the umbilical cord, Mr. Daines, you got to deliver your baby right now.
Oh, wow.
I'm not a fucking doctor, bro. I tried to get her in that bathtub. I did the best I could. And my baby died. I lost it, bro. I had one responsibility, and that was to take care of my child, bro. And I couldn't grasp it. So I lost it. It's still rough, but I lost it. And so every day was just a struggle to wake up in the morning. So art was just literally just finding something to do that wasn't drugs or alcohol that was going to take my mind off of it. And then what happened is I would post it at the end of it. Everybody would be like, oh, that is beautiful or whatever. And then somebody bought one. And shout out to my uncle, Robert Mushat. He bought my first painting. It was a Kobe Bryant painting. And when I posted it, I was so excited. I sold it. Everybody was like, yo, will you do the same one for me, just different colors? And I'm like, yeah. And that's what kind of, so my shit. So then not only was it therapeutic as doing the art part of it, it was they really like it. You know what I mean? So I'm going to stay around for a little bit longer because people like my art. You know what I mean? So that's what started it.
It's when you say like art saved me.
Yeah.
It really did. It's very interesting.
Like literally, like I wouldn't even. And there was how long you been doing art for? It's like I've been doing art my whole life. Since I was 4 or 5 years old, painting with watercolors and oil pastels, and I loved it. And I got notebooks from middle school. I got notebooks from high school. I got notebooks from high school until now that I continue to just bring with me and just draw, doodle every once in a while, draw here, write some quotes that I think, if I made a t-shirt that I could put this on a t-shirt, And so now I'm in the same headspace. I've been doing it, and I learned that I was never able to be corporate or I just be somebody telling me what the fuck to do. Even the army, after that, at some point, it just was like, nah. And I don't want you telling me what to do because you gonna send me to do some shit I don't even want to do that I'm gonna have to live with. You know what I mean? So it's like, I'm gonna kill somebody. I'm gonna kill him for me. Like, I'm not bringing nobody with me. Hey, you hurt this person and I'm gonna sit in your trash can. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna do it because someone else made me do that. That shit will be. I couldn't. So
But it's funny that you bring that up. A lot of photographers, like, in my world, I'm hiring second cameramen and
Yeah.
people to work with me. And it's a lot of times newer guys or guys that don't have the clients that I have right now. And they get annoyed, not with me, but like when we're working for a client and say that client is requesting a specific look to the art or a specific look to their stuff. Well, this is my creativity. This is my whatever. And it's like, so I understand there's like a balance, and it must be really hard as a painter. How do you deal with, like, say you do a mural and then a customer is like, make it crazier or do this, and it's like, motherfucker, this was perfect.
Yeah.
Or, I don't know.
I get a couple add-ons, but then I get really agitated.
Okay.
Like and unfortunately, it's because I want you to tell. I'm just your painter. So if the more you guide me to what you want, I'm going to throw it back at you. So when you say I'm going to say, you mean I like an eyeball or I like the letter I? I need to get clear, like, so as an artist, so and it may be funny to them. They're like, no, bro, I'm talking about my eye. Like, okay, well, I just need to know, like, because I'm creating it in my mind as you're telling me. So my vision may be, they be like, yo, I need the Fredz touch. What is that? You know what I mean? Like, that's just me doing me. Like, but if you hired me, then I'm doing you now. You know what I mean? I'm doing exactly what you want to do because you're not buying a piece that I already created.
Right.
You're buying a thought of you creating something with my eye. So let's do that. But I need you to tell me. And I'd rather you just tell me yes or no. Like, oh, I'm going to do this. I don't like that means you don't like it. Don't try to drag it out. You don't like it. So let's find something that you actually, I want you, when I'm done, any of my art, I want you to be like, you fucking nailed it. Like,
Right.
Because that's taking your image, pulling it out of your mind and giving my perspective and depth and years of experience to create what you wanted. That's where I get the kick out of, like, oh shit. So you wanted an octopus and the noodles, and I'm gonna do a quick sketch. You're like, look, that's like that. And they're like, yeah, okay, so now I have a vision. But if you just tell me go ahead and do something and you don't like it, that's gonna hurt my feelings. Because you told me to give you my touch, and I did. And you're like, that's not really what I was thinking. It's like,
I'm going to tell people right now, too. People all say all the time, like, how come your videos, for example, people know my videos are like $1,000 a video for a music video.
Right.
People will say, most of these guys are doing 400, 800, or much cheaper than that usually. Yeah. Why? I say, you know what? When a client pays me $50, $100 for photos, there's 15 re-edits that they want. When a customer pays me $1,000 for a photo shoot, they write the check and they love the work.
That's it.
I don't know what it is. It's just some type of client that you're getting.
That's a fact.
And it's not I'm not trying to necessarily shit on the people. I don't, they could be great people, but there's just something about us as humans when we spend money on things.
Yeah, I damn near want to do like a backdoor clause. Like if I nail this image.
That's crazy. That's
Let's keep it professional.
Yeah, we gotta keep it. This is a very serious episode. I haven't paused you one time. But you a backdoor clause, no especially around Christmas.
Backdoor clause. Hey, it's rough out here for these artists. Pause. But yeah, like, so say I nail the image, right? So, and I do it in a timely manner. I think you should pay me more. But it's like you get punished for doing it right the first time as an artist, or like you said, like a photographer. Same way. It's like I nailed it, and it's like, oh, you should be able to pay me more. Now. Like, so say I give you a deal and give you less. This is my standard. I give you a deal. You're like, man, I can't. I got it, but I really don't want to. Because I realize this a lot of times. a lot of times that they just don't trust they don't trust that you're going to be able to recreate what they're really looking for. So then they're willing to take a little bit. They're like, oh, can we take a little bit less? Because they don't know if it's going to come out. But then when it does come out, well, pay me my money then, bro. Like, come on. I shouldn't have to beg you. But I knew that I was going to be able to nail it, but I had to show you the finished product. You couldn't just take my work and 3,000 other projects that I nailed. You're going to, it's just like, and sometimes I like taking that little short change. Like, and I'm going to say something smart. I'm going to say something like, oh, I'm glad that fit, if it really hurts you, I could do that. If you don't got nothing else, if you're really struggling like that, bro, I got you. Because most of the time they not. They really just trying to get a deal. So it's like, you just got to touch their ego a little bit. Like, bro.
Someone told me recently that I've been trying, it's been working, I'm not going to tell everybody to work all the time, is rather than when someone's trying to negotiate your business price, instead of lowering the cost to fit their budget, just offer more stuff. And so obviously you don't want to do something that's taking advantage of your services, but you also know the overhead in your mind of what it takes
I'm trying
to do.
Get to, yeah.
I was like, well, I'll tell you what, if I could add more value into what we're doing by including ... versus saying I'll take X amount less, because in the end, if I was a hot dog vendor, I still gotta.
The cost is the cost.
Cost is the cost. When you go to a fancy, I can't believe I jumped to Glizzy's, but Twan's gonna be all over me for that one. But
you went where I went there.
You get a fancy Glizzy, they say $8. Like, this shit better be the best Glizzy I ever had in my goddamn life. And pause. It better be long as fuck.
It better be the 1.5 feet.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Oh man, dude. I want one though, because I didn't have locks before, so I couldn't really wear hats. Because my locks was too big.
That's something I didn't even think about. You did cut your hair, bro.
I cut my hair for the cancer because the chemo they said you're gonna lose it. So I was like, yeah.
All right, let's back up for a second. Okay. All right, so you painter, we were talking before. I said, you're. I feel like your career, as much as you said talk about it, your career speaks for itself.
Yeah.
But we're at a stage now. You got some serious shit going on in life. What's going on with you?
Okay, so I had a I'm gonna tell you how I thought it happened, and then the reality is reality hell. But in my house, I had a cabinet, and it had these nails that stuck out on the back side of the cabinet. One day the cabinet was open, and when I walked past it going this way, my chest grabbed one of those nails and kind of like ripped my nipple. Like, oh. So I'm telling you, it was super sensitive for maybe a month or two. So it healed up. I got the scab. But when stuff started to heal, you get that little itch. I remember itching it maybe 3 months later. I'm like, that shit's still itching. And there was a lump there. Probably the size of, not as big of a dime, but squished. So probably like a dime, a Mentos, smaller than a Mentos. And so my family has been riddled with cancer. So I was telling my aunt about it. I was like, and I was just talking in regular context. It's like, yeah, and I got my own shit to worry about. I got this lump and I ain't even check it out, And she's like, you need to get that shit looked at. And so my aunt passed away.
The same aunt that told you to get it looked at? Oh,
and
wow.
She had passed away unexpectedly, bro. And it threw us, and it happened on my birthday in August. So this all just happened. And my birthday, August the 14th. She passed away, and rest in peace, Aunt Bay. And when I was talking to my sister, I was distraught because we had just partied with my Aunt Bay at the end of July, and she wasn't sick or nothing. And I'm the one that took her to her doctor's appointments every month and everything. So I would have known, you know what I mean? It was something drastic. And so my sister was like, yeah, I talked to Aunt Bay before she passed, and she said she's worried that you're not going to go take care of your health. You're not going to even care. And so I was like, you know what? If that's what Aunt Bay said, then I'm gonna go look it up. I'm gonna go look into it. So went to the VA. They found the lump. They seen the lump. They said it is hard. So they did a mammogram. And shout out to the women that do that mammogram where they smash your titty like a pancake. Like, that shit is crazy. Shout out to that. But I went and did the mammogram. They said it looked like cancer. They did a biopsy. They said it is cancer. So I got stage 2 breast cancer for a male. So it was just,
I didn't even know that happens to men. It's very
man,
interesting to find out it's a thing that's multi-sex.
all right.
Do they know how like, is there something that causes breast cancer that with men, or you don't know?
I told him that I thought it was from the nail.
Right.
Because it's in the same exact. It is that. I don't care what it is that. Because
Okay.
whatever grew around it, that's what it was. It was healing that scar, and then that's where the lump is at. It's exactly there. But my body, I don't know. Some men, and it's called the HER2 gene. So the HER2 gene is promoting the cancer. So what's happening is it's sending me so much estrogen, or guess how they explain it to me, that it's promoting the cancer growth. So most likely I'm going to have a double mastectomy, remove both breasts. The cancer is spread under my underarm into my lymph nodes. So right now it's kind of aggressive. So I got the, I got the port, installed last week. So they'll do the chemo direct shot into the port, and I got 6 rounds of that, and then hopefully it shrinks it small enough so we can get I won't have to get a double mastectomy, just get one breast removed and fight it that way. But it's just like, I would have never thought. I wasn't even eating meat for 13 months prior to that.
Yeah, I wasn't going to bring that up, but it's interesting. We had done some stuff we don't have to talk about again together that, we learned about your diet being different and whatnot. And then I think you started that after we had gone on our trip. So, it's interesting to me. I don't want to say ironic, but it's interesting that whatever you were doing with that diet, I feel like had nothing to do with what's ultimately happening to you right now. So it's crazy to me to think that, like, we can spend our lives preparing for something and have it be something completely different. Now, so like what happens next? Like you said that you have that surgery. I'm assuming that's a routine surgery for like how often they do them. Is that correct?
Yeah. So the first thing they did was check genetics to see if this is something that is genetic. So it's called a genetic marker. So they check your genetics to see if there's a genetic marker, if it's coming from my family, and will it be passed down to my boys.
Did they just do a blood test, or is it? Okay.
And so, but they do like 3. Like I had like 10 biopsies in the last month. So they just really making sure. Today I just found out that I do have a lump in my liver, but it's not nothing. So I'm like, I was clapping today. Like I finally got some good news that something. It could be stuff in you, and it could be malignant. It could be benign. It could be not cancerous. So that's what you're praying for when you see a lump or they see something. So it just so happened that mine were cancerous. And so I'm fighting that now. And it's just like, just knowing I'm going to be out of work and not feeling good and not myself is like, cause I'm bubbly, bro. Like I swear I talk to anybody in a day. It's always look on the bright side. Look on the bright side. We get through it. Like, and this one is testing me. It's really, I've been through a lot in 41 years, like a lot, and so this is one like, damn, this is actually my battle to battle, All the rest of them is like, yeah, I done witnessed people get murdered and have to climb over dead bodies and lost my baby and, shit like that. But this is actually my battle. Like I have to fight it or I'm going to lose. Like,
yeah, when I first talked to you about it, we were on the street when you were working, and you had a very different outlook. I'll be honest, it didn't sound like you were going to fight it. You were going to do any of these things.
Yeah.
What do you feel like changed you, or what your intentions are?
My dad passed away, and so October, the beginning of October, like Breast Cancer Awareness Month, is when I was diagnosed, and then my dad passed away on the 17th. We didn't find out about it for 10 days later, so it was damn near November. So having to fill out all his stuff and get his death certificates and get his body or his arrangements together, and it's like I don't want to leave that for my kids. Like I'm not done. I got way now. Before I thought I had more work to do because psychologically I wasn't there, and I still wanted to check out sometimes when shit hit the fan. But now, like, even if I want to check out, I don't have enough of my affairs in order to even leave yet. So I definitely, and I feel like now I got more of a purpose to have to tell the community Like, we got to get checked out even younger. We got to start taking care of ourselves even more. We got to start talking to our families as genetics to know whether this stuff is in our bloodline, it's hereditary. Like, we need to start, if it is hereditary, it's on both, like mine is on both sides of my family. My aunt had one of her breasts removed. Now she might have to have her other one removed. My grandma has stage 4 cancer.
For breast cancer or a different
She
kind?
has bone cancer.
Okay.
So, and then my dad had beat cancer like 3 times, prostate, over and over and over again, bro.
Yeah, that's serious. Yeah. And it's being found in younger and younger men.
Yep.
And side note, just because of what you're talking about, I feel like, I don't know that breast cancer would fall in the category of being embarrassed. You may feel embarrassed. I don't think so. But a lot of these things like prostate cancer or problems with men's asses or any of these things, because it's funny or we joke around about things, you're embarrassed.
Right.
But
so they scared to go.
They're scared to go.
Yeah. So you be so scared. Like, but what if this is my thought. Like, once I realized that I had it, it don't hurt. It don't tingle. I don't feel sick. So imagine I knew that it was there and I just let that shit eat me alive until it got so far that it killed me. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, that's what we have to realize is that if it takes it, sometimes you might need some chemo to kill it. Sometimes you may have to have a surgery, cut it out. But why let it grow in you when you know that you're not eating good and you know that you're drinking and you know that you're smoking? Some of these people that are dying from prostate and breast cancer, like my aunt she never drank. She never smoked cigarettes a day in her life. Right. So it's like, it's not what you putting in, it is genetics. It is what's on our bodies, it's aluminums and what's in our air and stuff. So if we're already getting poisoned and then our body will react to it depending on how our genetics is, then we definitely need to start looking at things a lot sooner because it's more food with steroids now. It's more regulations that they're letting more chemicals into foods than they used to let, more metals. I just seen a study this morning. They just found that the soil on the east side is 4 times higher than anywhere in the city with lead. So just imagine, you put us here, contaminated the soil, and then of course the highest numbers of people with mental retardation, autism, all these these medical problems are from that side because you put us where the poison was at.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't know. I'll keep shouting it from the rooftops. You can look up what I'm saying. This is 100% factual. Buffalo, New York's water system, the water we get from our tap, has higher lead in it than Flint, Michigan. The only difference is Flint, Michigan had a documentary made about it, and they were being used for political purposes, so you hear about the crisis in Flint. Wow. But you don't ever hear about the fact that our water is a lot worse, has way higher lead than Flint. It is way over the limits. And an example of this that people hear about every year in Buffalo, and they don't realize it's the same thing. Every year, what's that beach? It's Woodlawn Beach. It's down by the water, and they have to shut it down like midsummer because of the toxins.
Yep.
That's the same water in the same area where they're doing our treatment. And the lead levels and stuff. This year was one of the worst years we've ever had.
They said they had found They found so much fecal matter in it. It was that. I seen it this year.
All right, so we talked about your treatment. So let me ask this. If in the time that you're getting taken care of and everything, is there a way that people can support you?
I do have a GoFundMe. Unfortunately, my dad passed last month, which was unfortunate, and we didn't know how to get his body. All the stuff that you have to know that unfortunately most of us will deal with at some point is burying and removal of a body and stuff like that. So I do have a GoFundMe, and it's just to so I don't have to stress as much. But I thank every single person that has supported me, that's been there, donated. And it's just, it's a really hard time, and cancer is weird. And I just want to make sure that, I can focus on healing and taking care of my health and my body so that I can make it out of this and be the artist that I really want to be at the end.
I got you. All right. Well, I appreciate you coming in. This is not a last interview. This is just before we get treatment.
Hell yeah.
We want to.
I want to do once I beat this shit, I want to do the ringing the bell, ringing the bell, podcast. That's going to be dope.
Oh yeah, we definitely do that shit.
Yeah.
Might have to do that live at a West Side Gun Day or something,
That'd be fire.
Ringing the bell or something. I don't know.
Right.
But still.
I might ring, right. You might have to kick me out of there, running there and ring the bell. You got the footage? We out of here.
Thank you for coming in.
Yeah, thank you for having me, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. We'll put the links in the comments below. So.
Hell yeah. Trigger warning.
You say chigger?